Greetings and good afternoon from the great city of Chicago, Illinois. Today we are visiting one of Chicago's major attractions, the Lincoln Park Zoo. Located in Lincoln Park right on the shore of Lake Michigan, the zoo is rather small with a number of unique animals to see from around the world. Unlike many other zoos in the US, the Lincoln Park Zoo is free, so anyone can enter the zoo at any time as long as it's open, which is between 7 a.m. and 5 p.m. 365 days of the year. Located right by the entrance is the zoo's train station. Like many zoos, the Lincoln Park Zoo has a small railway allowing passengers to get around the park without having to walk, but I chose to just explore on foot. The first exhibit here at the zoo houses the harbor seal. Harbor seals are mainly found in coastal areas and can be found on both the east and west coasts of North America. Their blubbery bodies can reach weights of around 400 pounds and are useful for keeping warm in cold water. They are mainly fish eaters and will use their flippers to rapidly pursue their prey as well as to escape predators like sharks. Just past the seals are the lions. Unfortunately, the lions were on the other side of the enclosure, making it rather hard to get good footage of them. Luckily, the lion exhibit at the Lincoln Park Zoo has multiple viewing angles, and heading inside this building we can get a better look. Looking through the window here, we can get some up-close looks at the king of beasts, or as many people often call them. Lions are the only wild cats known to be social and live in groups called prides. A single pride will usually have one or two males, several females or lionesses, and their cubs. Other wild cats like tigers, leopards, jaguars, and cheetahs are solitary, meaning they live alone. The easiest way to tell male lions from the females is that male lions have manes, which is extra long hair growing around their necks. Males will use their manes to look tougher and rival each other whenever they are in territorial combat with each other. While male lions are usually on patrol in protection of the territory, the females are usually out hunting for prey such as wildebeest, buffalo, zebra, and warthogs among others. Exiting the lion exhibit, I soon passed the Canada lynx exhibit. Unfortunately, the lynx was nowhere to be seen, and so I moved on. Right next door to the lynx is the red panda. Despite the name, red pandas really aren't pandas at all and are in their own family. However, like the actual giant pandas, red pandas mainly eat bamboo, which is a type of plant that grows mainly in tropical areas, such as China, where both red and giant pandas are found in the wild. Not many creatures can eat bamboo, because as well as being tough and hard to chew, it has a type of poison called cyanide which is lethal to many creatures, but red and giant pandas can somehow handle it. When threatened, red pandas can emit chemicals that smell extremely stinky, making it harder for predators to harm it. Continuing on through the park brings us to the primate house. This exhibit is where you'll find the Francois langur and the pied tamarin. Francois langur monkeys come from southwestern China and Vietnam. Similar to a cow, these monkeys have 4-chamber stomachs, allowing them to digest plants that many other creatures can't eat. A group can consist of around 4 to 30 individuals, making them highly social, and they'll look after each other in a group. When they're young, langurs will have orange fur, however, as they grow, it will start to turn black and white. Like many primates, langur monkeys are highly intelligent and have even been known to learn how to respond to human cues. Unfortunately, these monkeys are very endangered in the wild due to habitat loss and illegal poaching. Conservationists estimate that there are less than 2,000 Francois langurs remaining and face high risk of extinction. To anyone who is watching this video, make sure to consider protecting these endangered species. The pied tamarin was unfortunately off exhibit, so I decided to keep exploring the zoo and see what other animals there are to see. Heading back towards the entrance a bit brings us to Regenstein Macaque Forest, where, as the name suggests, you can find the macaque monkey. The monkeys, however, were nowhere to be seen. It seemed that a lot of animals were off exhibit today, which made sense as it was rather cold the day I was visiting. Walking along the edge of the park, we soon come to the exhibit with the biggest animal at the Lincoln Park Zoo, the black rhinoceros. As I arrived, the zoo's female black rhino named Kapuki walked right out into the main exhibit. Black rhinos are the smaller of the two African species, which isn't really saying much, as males can weigh up to 2.9 tons and the females around 1.4 tons. While that's not as big as the white rhinos, which can get up to 4.5 tons, it's still far from a small animal. The easiest way to distinguish a black rhino from a white rhino is that while white rhinos have a wide flat upper lip used for grazing, black rhinos have a hooked prehensile upper lip used for browsing. Browsing is where an animal eats plants off of bushes or trees as opposed to eating grass off the ground. Because of this, they are more accurately known as the hooked lip rhino because, as you can see, black rhinos really aren't black at all, but rather the same grayish brown color that white rhinos are. While they can appear black after wallowing in mud, the main reason it's called a black rhino is because when it was discovered, it was seen not to be a white rhino, so they named it the black rhino as an opposite name. I've explained how the white rhino got its name in videos at both the Houston Zoo and the Bronx Zoo, so check out these videos if you haven't. There are links to both of these videos in the description below. Like all rhinos, black rhinos are facing serious threats in the wild. They are currently listed as critically endangered, but luckily their population is slowly increasing. Until the 1970s, black rhinos were the most common of all 5 rhino species, with over 70,000 roaming Africa. Then, from 1970 to 1992, their populations were wiped out by over 96%, with less than 2,500 left. Fortunately, thanks to conservation, their numbers have recovered with around 6,500 black rhinos alive today as of 2025. The main reason behind this crisis is poaching for their horns, as there is this stupid belief that they possess medicine, which is not true as it's made of keratin, the same thing as cat claws, bird talons, and even our hair and fingernails. To all who are watching this, please consider doing anything you can to save these endangered species. If you're having fun at the Lincoln Park Zoo so far, I suggest tapping that subscribe button down below, as it's a great way to help support the channel and the content I produce. I'd also love to say a huge thank you to the considerable growth on this channel in recent times. This is a true motivation for me to keep making awesome content. There's a ton of cool stuff coming up very soon on this channel, so stick around if you don't want to miss it. Anyways, back to the Lincoln Park Zoo. Coming up next is the polar bear, who was unfortunately also off exhibit. This was rather ironic as polar bears are cold weather animals, and I don't see how it would have a problem with this weather. With no luck seeing the polar bear, I moved on and soon came across the giraffe exhibit. Giraffes are the tallest animals in the world, standing up to 15 feet tall and weighing around 3,000 pounds. Like black rhinos, giraffes are also browsers, and being taller allows them to eat off the tops of trees, higher than rhinos, elephants, and antelope can reach. As well as to reach higher leaves, giraffes will also use their necks for fighting for mates during the breeding season by headbutting each other on the necks during combat. The one downside of having necks that long is that it's harder to bend over towards the ground, making drinking a bit of an inconvenience. Coming up next is the exhibit housing African penguins. Now, chances are you've heard of penguins being a species from Antarctica, but believe it or not, there are penguins on the Cape of South Africa as well. Unlike their Antarctic counterparts, African penguins are adapted to much warmer water, and while most penguins have to keep their eggs warm in cold weather, these guys have to shade their eggs from the hot sun in order to keep them cool. Like all penguins, they mainly eat fish and have wings designed like flippers for swimming fast when pursuing prey or escaping predators. These penguins usually nest on coastal rocks near the ocean. Moving a little past the penguins, we soon come to this building housing a number of species, mostly from the rainforest. The walkway through the enclosure gives us a great view of the animals in this exhibit, the sun peering through the glass windows above. In this exhibit here are a number of bird species, including the Adim's stork, African spoonbill, Adada ibis, and blue-bellied teal. Most of these birds are found mainly in sub-Saharan Africa. In this tank here is the West African dwarf crocodile. Dwarf crocodiles are the smallest crocodile species, hence the name. They mainly eat fish and small mammals, among other things. As well as being tough predators, crocodiles are also caring mothers. A mother crocodile after breeding will protect her eggs until they hatch and keep caring for them until they go off on their own at about a year old. Most other reptiles will lay their eggs and then leave them to hatch, and when they do, the hatchlings fend for themselves from the moment they're born. As hard as the mother croc protects her eggs, usually only 1 out of 100 of them survive. However, this is actually a good thing, as if all of them survived, they would easily exceed the carrying capacity, and then it would be a catastrophe for all. Moving into this dark exhibit, we find the Madagascar hissing cockroach. This is no ordinary cockroach. This is one of the largest of all cockroaches, and when they feel threatened, they will blow air through a small hole in this chin, making a hissing sound, hence the name hissing cockroach. The cockroach's main predators are birds, lemurs, and reptiles, among others. In this exhibit here is the golden orb weaver spider. Golden orb weaver spiders are one of the biggest spiders in the world, with some getting as big as the palm of one's hand. These spiders get their name from the fact that they're golden in color and that the silk that they use to make webs is also a goldish white. Many types of spiders will build webs as a way to trap food and as a place to live. The way it's done is that the webbing starts out as a soft liquid inside the abdomen, and then is squirted out through holes at the back called spinnerets, where the webbing immediately hardens into a string. The spider then attaches those flexible strings together with a sticky substance that holds it together, as well as trapping bugs who get caught. While it may not seem like it, spider silk is actually the strongest fiber in the world, and being so flexible, it's even stronger than a steel cable relative to spider size. If a spider web strand was thicker, it could potentially hold back a Boeing 737 jet airplane, if you can believe that. Continuing on through the tunnels, we soon come across the pygmy hippo. Pygmy hippos are considerably smaller than Nile hippos, weighing only about 600 pounds, while Nile hippos can weigh up to 7,000 pounds. Pygmy hippos mainly come from the swamplands of West Africa and are a very endangered species. Due to habitat loss and war in that area, there are currently less than 3,000 pygmy hippos left in the wild. Again, to all watching this video, do what you can to protect these endangered species. Coming up next is an exhibit with a number of African birds such as the red-billed hornbill and the crested guinea fowl. Unlike the more common helmet guinea fowl, crested guinea fowl have a black crest of feathers, hence the name crested guinea fowl. They are mainly found in the bush and savannas of Africa and are the prey of a number of predators like serval and caracals. Red-billed hornbills, also from the plains of Africa, are omnivores, meaning they eat both plants and meat. They mainly eat insects and other small animals, as well as fruit and seeds. Hornbills get their name from the fact that their beak is curved like a horn. Next in the zoo are the meerkats. Meerkats are mainly found in the deserts of Africa in areas such as the Kalahari. They mainly eat insects, scorpions, and other small animals. Meerkats will use their claws in order to dig down into the ground to make tunnels for their homes, but every now and then they have to come to the surface where they are vulnerable to predators. The way they deal with this is that one member of the clan, called the sentry, will stand on a high rock on the lookout for danger, and if something is spotted, it will sound an alarm and they will run underground away from the danger. I got to experience meerkats in the wild during my expedition in Africa that went live last year, so check out that video if you haven't. In this enclosure is the aardvark. Aardvarks are expert diggers and will dig burrows to make their homes. After they die, other creatures will take over their burrows for their own homes. They are mainly termite eaters and will use their claws to break mounds to get at them. In this tank here are a number of fish species from Lake Malawi. Located in northeastern Malawi in southern Africa, this lake is home to a number of different species. Those include the mouth brooder, blue dolphin cichlid, and electric yellow cichlid, along with many others. Lake Malawi provides an essential water source for the elephants, giraffes, rhinos, wildebeest, and zebra, especially during the dry season. I was getting rather hot inside there, so I soon headed back outside and on to the next exhibit. Walking towards the middle of the park, we soon find the birds of prey exhibit. First in this exhibit are the vultures. Despite being considered birds of prey, vultures are almost exclusively scavengers rather than predators. Scavengers is where a carnivore eats an animal that's already died rather than killing it himself. Vultures will often steal food from other predators like wolves, bears, lions, leopards, cheetahs, tigers, hyenas, and wild dogs. Of all the raptors, vultures have the best sense of smell, allowing them to sniff out a carcass from a mile away. Next up is the bald eagle. Bald eagles are one of America's most well-known birds and often appear on the presidential seal. They are known for being able to dive down at high speeds and catch salmon right off the surface of the water and have sharp eyes that can see for miles across. Despite their names, bald eagles really aren't bald at all. They get their name from the fact that their white head stands out against the rest of their body, which is plain brown. When the eagles are young, they don't have white heads and are just brown all over, and as they grow, their head feathers will slowly turn white. These eagles have faced great challenges in the wild, as chemicals farmers use to kill bugs have often gotten to the fish they eat, greatly affecting the hatch rate of the eagles. I'll say it one more time, to anyone watching this video, please do your best to protect these species. I soon began making my way towards the south end of the zoo before it was due to close in about half an hour. I soon passed by the snow leopard exhibit. Snow leopards are the top predators in the Himalaya mountain range in Nepal. Their tough coat of fur helps keep them warm at high altitudes. Despite being called snow leopards, they are actually more closely related to tigers than to leopards, so technically they could be called snow tigers, although technically the Siberian tiger is a snow tiger. Towards the south area is a small pond with a number of flamingos in it. Flamingos get their pink color from the shrimp that they eat, and if they don't eat enough, their feathers will start to turn white. During the breeding season, flamingos will do a special courtship dance as a way to attract mates and raise families. Interestingly, that leg joint in the middle is not its knee, but rather its ankle.
Just trying to defend themselves.
In this exhibit here is the pear David's deer, an endangered species from Asia. Next to the deer is the zebra. Zebra, as you probably know, are covered in stripes mainly to confuse predators when stampeding and to make it hard for flies to land on them. Zebra will travel in vast migrations across the plains of Africa. As one last exhibit to see, I soon headed over to the gorilla and chimpanzee exhibit, but they were inside. Because the inside of the exhibit closes half an hour before the zoo closes, I was unable to head inside and find them. It was getting late, and seeing as the zoo was due to close shortly, I began making my way towards the exit where we'll end today's video. In the next video, I'll be right back here in Chicago to embark on Amtrak's Southwest Chief for a 43-hour, 2,200-mile odyssey from Chicago to Los Angeles. I hope you all are ready for a journey like none we've taken before, because this one is going to be big. Anyways, if you enjoy my videos, I suggest hitting like and subscribing to the channel if you haven't, as it's a great way to support the channel and the content I produce. I'd also love to say a huge thank you to the growth on this channel in recent times. This is a true motivation for me to continue to make awesome content. There's a ton to look forward to on this channel, so stick around if you don't want to miss it. Anyways, that concludes today's video. I hope you enjoyed the visit, and I will see you all next time. Take care.